We opened this morning call with a decision of the South African President. Jacob Zuma announced the creation of a commission of inquiry into corruption at the State Summit. Why is this decision surprising? For two reasons. First, because the South African opposition demanded that this commission be set up, and Jacob Zuma has long and fiercely opposed it. His term of office runs until 2019, but it seems that his power hangs in a balance. It's difficult to understand why he decided to set up this commission of inquiry. Above all, why now?
Difficile de comprendre ce qui a motivé sa décision de créer cette commission et surtout, pourquoi maintenant?
Jacob Zuma's announcement follows a court ruling on December 14, 2017, that ordered the president to appoint a commission of inquiry within 30 days and to pay the costs of investigation into his alleged corruption scandals. Zuma, who has denied wrongdoing, said he has appealed the order to pay the costs himself, but is moving ahead with the commission of inquiry because this matter has occupied the public mind for some time now and deserves urgent attention. Zuma had challenged the right of the former public protector Thuli Madonsela to call for a judicial inquiry and the appointment by the Chief Justice of a judge to head it, saying it was the president's prerogative whether to set up such an inquiry. Madonsela had ordered the inquiry into allegations that the influential Gupta family may have influenced the appointment of cabinet members in Zuma's administration and received special treatment for a coal business linked to the family and one of the president's sons. Zuma and the Guptas have both denied any wrongdoing. In a statement, Jacob Zuma said Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, selected by the Chief Justice, will head the commission. Judges have said the commission of inquiry must complete its work within 6 months of being established. Let's now speak to Piet Rampedi, editor at African Times in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's always a pleasure to have you in the program, Piet Rampedi. So the first question that we have, even if Jacob Zuma has decided to move forward with the formation of the commission to look into corruption allegations, is there any honesty to it? He says the matter deserves urgent attention when he is the very figure at the center of the case.
Look, I'm not sure whether or not there's any honesty, but what I can say to you is that the timing of his announcement raises a lot of questions and suspicions about his intentions. One, he was ordered last month already to establish this commission of inquiry by the High Court here in South Africa. He stalled and decided to appeal on 2 grounds. One, that the court should never have ordered him to pay the cost in his personal capacity because he was discharging his duties in his official capacity. And secondly, he said he was appealing because he didn't want a bad precedent to be set around the powers of the president to appoint commissions of inquiry. So now, when he wakes up in the morning, about 3 weeks later, on the eve of the first meeting of the ruling party's National Executive Committee, which he led for the past 10 years when he was still president of the ANC, and suddenly announced that he's going to appoint this commission of inquiry when he was appointed by the ruling party way back in after the High Court ruled that he had to set up this commission against appealing the ruling. He ignored them at the time and went ahead. So for him to then suddenly announce unilaterally this the setting up of this commission of inquiry, while also going ahead with the appeal, is raising a lot of confusion and suspicions about the motive for the move.
Piet, what could be the possible outcomes after this commission has finished its work?
Look, the outcome is everybody's guess, because remember, commissions of inquiry are very much extensive and in-depth in their nature. They're going to call a lot of witnesses. There's going to be an evidence leader, and whoever's going to appear before that commission is going to be cross-examined. So what we all know currently is that there are allegations stemming from the public protector, the former public protector, Thuli Madonsela's report titled "The State of Capture," which was so damning against President Jacob Zuma, and basically condemned him as someone whose administration had been hijacked by private interests, somebody who had allowed the Gupta family to run the show in the country and to appoint ministers and also appoint the heads of state-owned companies. Sort of labeled him a corrupt leader who was in the pocket of the Gupta family. And after that, there was also another expose or leak coming out of the Gupta's private businesses in terms of emails titled the Gupta leaks, which gave further evidence of what people have been suspecting, that the Gupta family was wielding an enormous undue influence on the state. So we don't know what the outcome will be, but I can say that at this point in time, it doesn't look good for him. But what he said when he was announcing the commission was that, look, I'm not happy with the recommendations or the order of the High Court, but for the benefit of the public, because they've been waiting for this commission of inquiry for a very long time, and to not create an impression that the South African government is not serious about fighting corruption, I will set up this commission of inquiry, while at the same time pursuing the appeal, because I still feel so strongly that I should not be ordered to pay in my personal capacity, and that the powers of the president should be safeguarded.
Thank you very much, Pieter Rampedi, for your contribution in the program. Just to remind you, Pieter Rampedi is an editor at African Times.